Hey guys, and welcome to the first video of my easy recipe series. Today we're going to be making a dish that's not only easier than tacos, it's tastier too. I'm talking of course about fajitas. Specifically today we're going to be making some shrimp fajitas. It is very simple, very easy to find ingredients that can be sliced up ahead of time to make for an even easier midweek meal. To make this dish, we're going to need the following ingredients: 3 bell peppers, 1 medium to large onion, 1 can of black beans drained, 1 package of frozen shrimp. Mine usually come about 10 ounces. They're going to need to be defrosted. And then some tortillas. For the spices in this dish, I tend to make my own spice blend rather than purchasing one. If you have a spice blend that you like, that you've already purchased, go ahead and use it. It's not going to hurt anything. However, if you want to try something new, we'll be covering spices a little bit later. I also do want to make one note here that dried spices tend to lose their punch after they've been opened for 6 months. So if you have anything that's over a year old, I would say toss it out. We don't recommend using those because if you have any recipes that you try with them, you'll get differing results because of the fact that the spices might not be as strong as they should be. Just a couple more things before we get started. Make sure you start heating up a pan on the stove. I generally use a cast iron skillet, but any heavy bottom pan will work. Also, we want to make sure we drain our beans so that way they're ready when we need them. Now let's go ahead and start slicing up those veggies.
As I said before, this step can be done at the beginning of the week to make the process go even faster. Alternatively, if you're feeling exceptionally lazy or in a time crunch, they make pepper and onion blends that are already sliced in the frozen section. As you can see, we aren't going for perfection with cutting up the peppers. This isn't for a restaurant, it's for your home. If you're fine with differently shaped peppers as I am, then I'm sure your family won't even notice. Once you have them all sliced up, put them in a large bowl and gather up your spices. For the spices, we will need the following blend 3 separate times. Once for the peppers, once for the onions, and once for the shrimp. We will need 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of chipotle powder, and finally 1 teaspoon of Mexican oregano. If you can't find Mexican oregano, you can use some marjoram as a quick replacement. You don't even need to measure these out. Just do a rough estimate and it will come out fine. Go ahead and dump your spices in with the peppers and give them a quick mix. Once you have them seasoned up, get them into that skillet. You should hear the sizzling immediately. Don't worry if they get burned in places. The char adds extra flavor to this dish. After about a minute, you can add your onions. My camera stopped working while I was cutting up the onions, so I don't have that video for you. It's basically just the same as the peppers, though. You just need a rough slice, as everything will soften and you will barely even notice. Make sure you follow the same steps with putting the onions in a large bowl and seasoning them up with a spice blend. Stir everything for about 2 minutes. Once you start to get some color on the onions and they start to soften, cover the skillet for another 2 to 3 minutes. Everything should be mostly softened at this point, so let's add the beans. Stir to combine the beans with the peppers and onions. Once combined, put the lid back on for another 3 minutes. We are now ready to add the shrimp. As usual, we're just stirring it in. Make sure that it's fully combined by stirring for about a minute. Then get that lid back on for one last time. After about 2 minutes, your shrimp should be done. You can tell it's done if it's opaque and the tails have curled up. We'll give it a quick stir and then it's going to be ready for plating. This would be a great time to throw your tortillas in the microwave under a damp tea towel to warm them up.
And there you have it, a meal even easier than tacos. The best part is that if you don't like shrimp, you can easily substitute thinly sliced chicken breast or even steak, and it will still take less than 15 minutes to cook. Why don't you leave a comment below on what recipes you would like to see next? Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and also hit that notification bell so that way you know when a new video comes out. Remember, cooking is about exploring, experimenting, and most importantly, savoring every delicious moment. So grab those aprons, gather your loved ones, and let the joy of creating something amazing fill your kitchens. Thanks again for being part of our cooking community.